Quick little Wednesday update. Woke up today, legs are feeling really fresh and sprightly, which I'm delighted about. Yesterday I just did 8 miles, nice and easy. Again, keeping that heart rate in the recovery zone. So my body's recovering well off this marathon and then the first session back. Now, I mentioned I might do Friday session or Saturday parkrun. I'm leaning towards Saturday parkrun now. I feel like I might do a little bit of faster stuff while I can before going back into the real heavy training over the winter if this spring marathon is on the cards. I've sent a few emails, a few texts, so hoping for some positive news, whether I could get into maybe London or Manchester. I think London would be the number one priority if I could get into that. If not Manchester, if not that, maybe something further afield. But I'm hopeful. I've got my fingers crossed. Today I'm just off to the chiropractor to get my 6-week adjustment. And I find that really helps my body and keeps it in decent condition. I always struggled with my hips, so that was always a weak point of mine. So that's why I have my regular appointments to help keep on top of that. So I was saying in my last video I might have a go at a parkrun on Saturday this week. My legs are feeling really good, so I feel like it's a good opportunity to see how fast they can run. They're not overly tired with the volume at the minute. But I was having a scan back at parkrun results over the years because I used them now and again when I was training hard back in the day, and my best result I think was a 14:27 parkrun, and that was back in 2015. That was the course record on the Newcastle Town Moor, which I believe still stands today. So quite proud of that one, a 10-year-old record. I think the course has changed slightly since then, but still delighted with that one. And what people don't know is I think I had 2 minutes recovery or 3 minutes recovery, and then I ran another 5k straight after it in sub 16. So that was, I used that as a training session. And that's what parkruns are great for. They can be used as training tools, they can be used as races, they can be used as walks. They're open to anyone, no matter your ability. You could be doing a couch to 5k and that's your ultimate end goal, is to complete that. Or you could be training for a marathon like myself and using them just to sharpen your legs up a little bit. So they're such a good event and they're free, which is amazing. So fair play to the guys for getting that off the ground and getting it up to the level that it is now. I mean, you can just look at a UK map and there are endless parkruns anywhere. And I mean, the fact where I'm walking now, there's a parkrun in this park in Morpeth. I don't tend to do it because it's very hilly and I'm a softie. I prefer the flat ones. But yeah, looking back, 14:27 was my best, and that actually puts me 25th all time on parkrun rankings, which I'm quite proud of. Looking more recently though, because those days are long gone. There's no way I'm running a 14:27 anymore. But looking this year, I think my best is 15:47. I did that at Blythe back in May. So I'd like to think I can run a little bit quicker than that now. I've done some quicker sessions, but nothing like really sharp, nothing really 5k orientated. But yeah, I mean, I was glancing over my training and I think there's a 15:20 in my legs maybe, which I'd take that right now. 15:20, like that's really good if I can do it. So I might give that a go at the weekend. Maybe have a comment below. People do that, don't they, on their YouTube videos? Comment your predictions, so see what you think. I think I look back, the only quicker sessions I've done, I did those 800s sandwiched with some tempo in between. I did 4 by a mile before the Great North Run, but I messed that up by going too quick in the first mile. So that wasn't a real indicator. And then before that, I can't really remember anything faster did. I think maybe some K reps, not sure, but I've definitely not done a lot of quick stuff. So yeah, as I scanned over the rankings at the more relatable tables, which are the over 40s, which the bracket I fall into now, all time over Parkrun, 122nd currently with my 15:47, and I think it put me 22nd for the year. Looking at the list, there was a great performance top of the list, Tom Cornthwaite. He was in my uni running group back in, when we were 18, 19, so going back to 2008. So Tom, Blackburn lad from memory, so he's a Blackburn Harrier at the time, from the northwest anyway, but fantastic to see him still running well. 14:51, top of the rankings, age 40. That is impressive, Tom. Fair play. So that's my target. Not going to do that this weekend, but it'd be nice if I could get in the 14:50s again and dip under 15 minutes. But I might do a little bit of speed work over the next few weeks, and before the real work starts, if I get into this marathon next year. But I think realistically, I think if I get under 15:30, I've done well. I'm definitely stronger, but not necessarily faster. So I think the lack of 5k training will show. With it being Wednesday, and if I am going to do Saturday's parkrun, legs are feeling all right, so I might put some light reps into my run tonight, or I might do a progression. I may do that. I might do a progression run, so 8 miles, and then just try and just pick up each mile and get quicker and quicker, and aim to finish at tempo effort. And the perfect progression is where you get each mile faster and faster, and your heart rate reflects that. So that will be my aim. Pace wise, I imagine first mile is going to be like 7:40, maybe 7:30, and then by the end, I'd like to think of maybe 5:20 pace for the mile. So we'll see. I'll be doing it to heart rate anyway, and then the paces will just come. That's what I kind of like to do. I don't like to aim for a pace, because if you're feeling rough or feeling bad, then your heart rate could be too high for that type of effort, and you don't really get the benefit. So yeah, I'll keep that controlled and report back as to how it goes. Just done the first mile. Average heart rate 120. So first one's just really warming up, and then I'll move into like recovery pace, and then I'll just get faster and faster. My aim is to go every mile up 5 beats per minute average, up to it's going to be 9 miles in total, because I'm going to take it up to 165. So we'll see what sort of paces we hit. If I'm feeling good and strong on the last mile, I might just crank it up to 5k pace and just see how I feel. But we'll see as it goes on, see what my legs are like. Coming up to 3 miles done. Done the 125 heart rate, done the 130, and this one is 135 all done. See what the mile split is, but move up to 140 average for the next mile. We'll see how we go. That was a 6:44 for 135 average heart rate. On to the next. 5th mile done at 145 average. That was a 6:03 mile. Now this starts to feel a bit more comfortable and relaxed. Enjoy this type of pace. Coming up to the 6th mile done, 150 average heart rate. So just run along the bypass. 5:55. Moving well. 155, 160 next two. Coming up to the end of the 7th mile. That was a little bit uphill, so pace had to drop ever so slightly just to keep the heart rate under control. But 160 next mile, and then I'll see how I feel, whether I keep it controlled at 165 or push on and open the legs. Coming up to 8 miles. 160, 161 average heart rate. So I think I'm going to turn the legs on the last mile just to simulate that end of a race on tired legs, kicking off marathon pace. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, 0.1 of a mile to go. Then I'll put in a hard last mile, then a mile cool down. 9th mile done. I think it was about a 4:53 for the mile maybe. Heart rate was up mid 180s, so near maxing out. But that was a really good simulation for the end of a race. So running controlled, and then going. Felt hard, but I felt my leg speed was good. I carried it well. But yeah, I'm just doing a jog, mile recovery now, and I'll head home. Feel like I nailed that one. So just on the mile jog recovery, heart rate's still a little bit elevated. We're at 134, 135 at 8-minute mile pace. So obviously just feeling the effects of that run and that quick last mile. But I like that, it just reminds the body that it's still got some speed in its legs, and it's just nice to tap into that zone. I need to do it more often, because you can build all the base work you want, but you still need leg speed. You still need to be able to put some quick miles in when it calls in a race. Even just a downhill mile, coping with that faster pace, and then slowing back down to race pace and recovering. I found this one of the guys in the Grey North Run. He trained amazing, got himself in brilliant shape. He was in 1:15 shape, but the first mile was too quick, and it put the lactic in his legs. And he couldn't shake it, he couldn't get rid of it, so then he suffered in the race because of it. So putting that extra speed work in, that's what I like to do, because then when you do a quick mile in a race, it doesn't bother you, you can recover and settle back down into your rhythm. And that's 10 done. A Thursday update after yesterday's progression run. So felt pretty good after that. Body held up well, calves were a little bit sore this morning. Not sure what caused that. I did do it in the Addy Evo SLs. I've not run anything quick in them yet, but I wanted to try them out and see how they felt. That shoe's starting to really win me over. Still think the only downside to it, it's really, really light for an everyday shoe, but everything else just feels so good on it. It's a really soft, comfortable shoe. It's fast. It's very cushioned when you want to run slow. It's also got some rebound in it when you run fast. I know it's a non-carbon, but I do really like it. I do rate it, so I'm pleased to pick that one. I'll definitely be sticking with it for the foreseeable anyway. I do want to add in another shoe, something a little bit heavier for steady runs, just so I'm not always running in light footwear. But I'll have a look about. I've been recommended a good Puma shoe, so I may give one of those a try. Now I still think my parkrun prediction is pretty realistic. I'm sticking with my 15:22 guess, so we'll see how that plays out. But I imagine I'm going to go out too hard, maybe blow up a little bit and hang on, but I'm hoping my marathon strength carries me to the finish and I won't slow down too much. But I wouldn't be surprised if I see a first K in 3 minutes and just see what happens. But that's just my competitive head, and it's telling me I'm fitter than I actually am. You don't know until you put yourself in that position, so I'll go out hard and see how it goes. I think I did that when I did my all-out PB of 13:41 for 5k. I went out really hard and just hung on for dear life, and that was 2011. That was a long time ago now. It makes a refreshing change from what I've done over the last few months, primarily all the long tempo stuff, the long run stuff. So tapping into that 5k zone, it's a good feeling. So looking forward to doing a little bit more of that in the short term before the main focus switches to the long stuff. I'll try and get some footage over the weekend of how the park run goes and any other training I do, and I'll get another video out Sunday, Monday.